Another reason why we should not use air conditioning is because we share this planet with many animal species and plant species and just the creatures in general. And in the videos about plastic, in one of the videos about plastic, I mentioned a verse from the Quran, from chapter 6 of the Quran, Surah An'am, where Allah says that every species of animal and every species of bird is a nation just like us, just like humans. Umamun amthalukum. And why would Allah say that? Out of all of the things that Allah could say and would say and should say in His final verbatim revelation to humanity, why would He make sure to say that animals and every species of animal is a nation just like us? And He didn't just say nation, He said nation just like you. Umamun amthalukum. That's very significant. And the reason why this verse is in the Quran is because Allah wants us to recognize that each species of animal is important. They have value and an importance in and of themselves, not necessarily because they serve us in any way. They're not a worthy creature. They don't deserve to exist simply because they serve us in some way, or because they make our lives better, or because they make the planet more habitable or more pleasant for us. They have dignity in and of themselves. And Allah is the God of each of these species just as equally as He is our God. And He feeds them just as He feeds us, and He shelters them just as He shelters us, with the same level of care and importance and mercy and compassion. And they return to Him just as we return to Him, and they will be gathered to Him on the Day of Judgment just as we will be gathered to Him on the Day of Judgment. So we have to respect them. We have to respect every species of creature out there. And that means that we have to be good neighbors to them. That means we have to live on this planet in such a way that does not violate their rights. And when we look at air conditioning is not a necessity of human life. Maybe we feel like it's a necessity, but for the majority of human existence on this planet, we haven't had air conditioning. Our ancestors managed. Our ancestors jived with the natural temperatures of this planet, and their physiology was molded to fit onto this planet in the context of its natural temperature patterns. And if we can't survive, or we feel like we can't survive in summer heat, that's not heat's fault. That's not the summertime's fault. That's not the weather's fault. That's our fault. That's our problem. We're the ones who bent ourselves out of shape. Whereas look at the animals. The animals are still, for the most part, living within their evolutionary context, their fitrah, as I mentioned in the other video. So it's humans who have become so far removed from our fitrah, from our evolutionary context. The other creatures are, for the most part, living within their evolutionary context. And so they are putting up with the heat of summer, or with the temperatures that they are exposed to, or with the conditions that they're in, albeit in a limited way because of us. We are limiting the amount of habitat that they have to establish themselves in, and just as every nation needs its own borders, and needs its own resources, and needs its own frontiers and areas within those frontiers to roam and carry about their business, and to conduct their movements. Animal species have their own movements. They have their seasons, they have their comings and their goings, and this is all based on the instinct and the wisdom that Allah has encoded within them, within their ancestral memory and within their DNA. That is a part of their being. And if we put up walls, whether real or fake, because of our technology, and if we limit their ability to function as Allah has designed them to function and according to the instincts that Allah has inspired within them, then we are being abusive to them, just as any powerful nation would be abusive to a weaker nation if it were to do something similar to it. So right now we are oppressing the animal species. We're inhibiting their ability to conduct themselves as they're supposed to, and that's affecting their population. Many of them have gone extinct already, and many of them are in danger of extinction. And Allah says this in the Quran, that if because of the sins of humans and because of the what the hands of humans have earned, if Allah truly were to strike us based on what we truly deserve, every animal species, including us, would have become extinct, meaning this earth would not be habitable anymore, meaning we deserve complete extinction, total extinction, because of what our hands have earned. But Allah is very merciful, and Allah is very patient, and He's giving us a lot of time, and He cares about us, and He wants to see us come back to Him. So He's giving us a lot of time, and He's only letting a trickle of our karma come to us, our bad karma. If He let the whole deluge of our karma flood onto this earth, this earth would not be habitable anymore, because humans have wrecked things so terribly. The only reason why things are still good and green is not because our harm is any less severe, the harm that we've caused is any less severe. The only reason why things are still good and green and why things are not completely corrupted is because Allah has withheld the full onslaught of our bad karma, such that instead of the entire tsunami of it crashing down on creation, only a trickle of it is felt, and even that trickle is very severe. So basically, what does this have to do with air conditioning? Because air conditioning is not necessary. And air conditioning, what I'm saying in this video can apply to other things too, not just air conditioning, but air conditioning is a good case in point. As I've said before, it helps to encapsulate and to demonstrate a lot of these themes and these concepts that these videos explore, and which I'm seeking to convey in these videos, is that human selfishness and human weakness, and not natural human weakness, but like human weakness that we have decided to put on. We've decided to need air conditioning, but we could just as easily decide not to, and we could just as easily decide that we're going to put up with the temperatures, and we're going to let our bodies get used to it. And if we were to do this, if we are to make this conscious choice to move away from such things as air conditioning, again, like I said, air conditioning is not necessary. So it's not something that we need to survive. In fact, none of these technologies are things that we need to survive generally as a species. And if we were to move away from these technologies and go back to the true necessities, the bare necessities, and still live comfortably on this earth, because Allah has made this earth a comfortable place for us to live even without technology. If we were to move away from technology and move away from an air-conditioned lifestyle, then we would be much better neighbors to the other species of this planet. And the amount of resources that we need to maintain an electric lifestyle, all the resources that we have to harvest, and all the land that we have to clear, and everything that goes into procuring or generating electricity, which serves us and our tastes and our comforts, but it does not serve any other species. Like, no other species needs to have this electrified existence, whereas we do. So this dependency on electricity for such frivolous things as air conditioning. Air conditioning is completely frivolous. It's useless. We have no need for it. Just you grow up and live with it. Live with the heat. Just put up with it. How many species would be so thankful to Allah and so thankful to us for making that step? And so the reason why I make these videos, not that anybody watches them maybe, but at least to have some kind of note taking for myself for future reference. But one reason why I make these is to call humanity away from these things and to call humanity towards what Allah and the animals would be calling us towards. And someone has to say something. The animals have not come up to us and spoken to us in our own language, telling us what they want. So we have to speak on their behalf, and it's clear what they need and it's clear what they want. We know that from living on this earth with them. We know their patterns, we know their needs, we know what really require to fulfill their evolutionary situation in the collective of creation. And so we need to help give them that. And Allah is the God of all creatures, not just of humans. And we're not the only important ones to Him. These animals and plants and all of them, the whole entire ecosystems of the earth, everything in nature, they're all precious to Allah. They are all important. And so I know some people might not feel comfortable when someone like me or anybody says that we are speaking on behalf of Allah. But I think it's the hour is too late, and we can't just play around with half saying things. We have to say things full on, and Allah says things full on in the Quran. So I'm gonna go ahead and say things full on. I'm not just gonna say things halfway. We gotta completely return to nature and grow up, man up, put up with the heat, get away from air conditioning, get away from all these comforts and luxuries and luxurious technological living, and get back to the simple life, get back to nature, get back to the necessities, to the bare basics, and be grateful for the comforts that Allah has given us in that. And the animals are waiting for us to do this. We humans have a special status among the creation, and we affect the other animals in a way that they can't affect each other. And so what we choose to do and what we choose not to do will decide the fate of so many other species. So come on, take this seriously. We gotta do something. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulih al-kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.